And our 10th storyteller, JaneGideon. JaneGideon, right here. Let's hear it for Jane.
You made it.
I made it.
Yay.
Okay, last, hopefully not least. I should have followed Erin because I think my story is a nice compliment to her, or maybe not. So when I heard that the theme was romance, I thought there is not a subject on the planet that I know less about. So I looked it up in the dictionary, actually. I did. And it turns out it's something like a tender, loving gesture that is a surprise, or something like that. So I hadn't actually experienced it, but a friend of mine kind of gave me an example one time because he set up this whole extravagant proposal for his then girlfriend, where he sent her on a scavenger hunt throughout the entire city of San Francisco, planning her favorite gifts and her favorite places, and it culminated in these 2 tickets to Florence. And he took her to Florence, and at the top of this hill, overlooking the Tuscan village, he proposed to her. Whatever. When my ex-husband and I decided to get married, and it was decided, it wasn't like down on one knee proposal, it was, taxes, children. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's get married. But we'd heard so much about their Italian adventure that we decided we would go and elope and get married in Italy. So we went to the painstaking effort of having all our documents translated into Italian and sent them ahead of us and crossed the world, and everything went wrong. We lost our luggage. We arrived late, we lost all our money, and without any money, we had to walk through the streets of Venice, where we were mocked, bridge over bridge, with perfect brides and grooms, and they're coiffed in their dresses and their picturesque poster card pictures, and us looking like and smelling like 2 days of planes, trains, and automobiles. And we we got to the magistrate's office only to find out that our precious documents had been lost. So we did not get married in Italy, and that was our last attempt at romance. Instead, we came back and we got married at San Francisco County or City Hall, and we had 2 children, and everything was fine until my father died. Sorry, we're going to take a turn here. My father died, and I found myself back in my hometown of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, in a funeral procession, following my mother and my brother. And my brother, rightfully so, was escorting my mother. But I was alone. And I thought, this is why I got married. It wasn't for romance or because I needed someone to support me or because I'm spiritual in any way. It was for this moment when everything goes wrong and you want somebody to be standing next to you and saying, I'm with you. I'm walking through this with you. We're in this together. But he wasn't there. And why my ex-husband wasn't there is this thing of family debate. We have his version of the story and my version of the story. But that was the beginning of the end of our marriage because I didn't trust him to ever be there for me again. So we ended up divorced, but we're like the Bruce Willis and Demi Moore of divorced couples. We really get along, and we're friends, and we're co-parents, and we're really good. And then a few years later, my mother died. And so I had to go back to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and I called him. And I said, don't come. And I know I'm probably being recorded, and you want an affidavit because everything went wrong last time I said this or this happened, but don't come. The kids have finals, there's too much going on. I can handle this, just stay back and take care of everything. And he said, okay. And that was okay until the bottom dropped out 2 months later, and my brother died. And this time I called him, and I did probably what I should have done when my father died. I said, I need your help. Can you come? Because I cannot handle another funeral by myself and handle all the things that go with being the last one standing in your family. And I can't do it without you. Will you please come? And so he did. He came. And he took care of the kids, and he ordered food for the wake, and he made sure people were taken care of, and he cleaned up, and he did 1,000 things that probably no one else noticed. But I did, because I knew he wasn't doing it out of some agenda of love or romantic love. He was doing it because maybe for healing. And we didn't get back together, so that's not how this story ends. Let that go. Let that go. He was doing it because at that point no one else could. And he stood next to me on the worst day of my life. And he walked beside me and he said, "We're in this together. Whatever happened or has happened, from now on, I'm your family." And that was the most romantic, mercifully full of love, surprising act I've ever received.